MicheleMarieDalene, everybody, it's MicheleMarieDalene, and I want to make sure I got the buttons right this time. Yes, I do. I had a slight little issue. It's only selecting the time-lapse video, which I didn't want to do that. So, we're just done having chocolate cookie. Okay. Now, today we're going to talk briefly about, some hypothesis I came up with, and it's not really at all an extremely impossible likeliness of happening. As you may know, Donald Trump is making a lot of the Democrats, especially Hillary Clinton's campaign, very, very scared. She doesn't have the kind of power that she wanted. Hillary Clinton is part of the Bilderberg group, and she's actually part of the Illuminati. She's extremely dangerous, extremely powerful, and extremely rich. And why I mention that? Well, because if Donald Trump receives the Republican national endorsement from the Republican Party, just like what happened in the Democrat National Convention, I believe that affected one of the Kennedy brothers, John Kennedy Jr., somebody might decide to put a bullet in his chest. I think it's not at all impossible to say that if you really hate somebody that bad, and let's put it this way, Donald Trump isn't exactly popular with the Democrats right now. However, I want to remind you that the Donald Trump is also not very happy with the Fox News, and has decided not to be in the next Fox News Republican debate. That does not mean he's no longer going to be a presidential candidate. It just means he chooses not to be part of the Republican debate. I think that's suicide, if you ask me, but that's okay. I'm not Donald Trump, but I would go through it anyway. He's doing that on principle of the matter, which is he doesn't like the Fox News people's attitudes about his campaign. Particularly, he mentions one of the moderators named Megyn Kelly. I don't know much about Megyn Kelly. I don't know anything about Megyn Kelly, so I'm not going to be able to say one way or another if that's a reasonable feeling or not. So, if you are a Donald Trump supporter, you will probably be asking yourself that exact question: Is he really? If he wins, is there likely to be a bullet in his back? And I would say, according to one brief article I read on Alex Jones, it says the answer is a resounding, you better believe it, because several insiders of the Democratic committee have said, we do not want Donald Trump in office. We will make sure to do anything into our power to make sure he doesn't get the nomination, and if he does get it, make sure he loses the electoral college vote, as well as the popular vote, because he's going to usurp everything that the Bilderberg and the Davos group wants. Okay, well, alright, here's the problem. Now, if that's the case, that means he must be doing something right. But there's one thing I noticed about presidential candidates anyway, and I'm going to bring this up, is that so many of them say what they want and then they don't do what they say. I don't know if Donald Trump is going to be one of those, or if he's going to do what he says and says what he does. I hope he is of the second group and not the first, just giving talking points, but I have no way of telling you one way or the other which one it is. So if you happen to be wondering if Donald Trump has got it together, like my eye does, so my report is, well, definitely holding in there. I don't want to see morning glories right now, but that's another topic. We'll kill that one in a second. What else was I going to say? Oh yes, this, I can't believe that Chris Murphy did this. Why is Chris Murphy trying to change the War Powers Act to give His Highness, Mr. Barack King Obama, so much authority to rule by fiat? Why? I don't know. That's right, Dory. Your so-called friend, Mr. Chris Murphy, wants to give Barack Obama the power of kingship. Now, I don't know why this is going on, but it's a concern. It really is a concern to American freedom and American rights and American sovereignty. I've never been one of those people to go out there and, I am not, I repeat this with a quadruple underline, a big round fat circle around the word anti-NRA. I am not anti-Second Amendment. I do believe in the Second Amendment rights. I also believe that people have the right to choose if they're going to carry guns or not. That's I believe in. Some people like to carry guns because it gives them they like packing heat, and some people don't like to pack heat. I happen to be one of those people who'd rather not pack heat, but I do believe in packing arms. Remember, the Constitution says right to bear arms. It doesn't say specifically just firearms. Firearms are just a type of arms. So you can carry a knife, you can carry a sword. I gotta admit, they are more unwieldy, but then again, the early flintlocks weren't exactly conveniently easy to carry around either with firearms, but they're still physically not as unwieldy as a sword is, or a dagger or a dirk. I happen to believe in a bladed weapon. You get more hit points of damage with a bladed weapon. Unfortunately, the sad truth is when it comes to convenience, a Smith & Wesson is a lot faster than a hand-and-a-half sword. So that's a sad truth. I wish that wasn't the case, but okay, that's I digress. That's just the way it is. The Winston Republican Committee will be meeting on February. I make sure I get the date right here because I do not have it in my head yet. I think it's on the third Thursday of the week of the month of February. It will be on the 18th. I'm going to that again. This time, hopefully, my legs will not give me a hard time getting there, but we'll see. And then, of course, I'm hoping to see if I can sort of get into the flow of this, and then we can take it from there. Do I nominate Trump? Yeah, I think he's got it. And I also hope to see that on the local level, the Republicans can get things done that we haven't been able to do in this town. People have pointed out that look at the roads and our bridges here, and Trump has said the same thing, that the roads and the bridges and infrastructure in the United States is rotting away. It's true, and it has to be fixed up. But make sure we understand one thing about Republican personality versus a Democrat personality. A Republican personality sees the government as a business. Okay, it is a business in its own right. You got your creditors, you got your investors, you got your owners. We call them taxpayers, and of course you got your money in the bank, which would be money that we have that we pay for programs and services. Whereas the Democrats, the government is a completely different way. Business person is going to try to make sure that the government can balance its books and is showing it's a healthy status. I have nothing against that. As a Republican, I look at the same thing with my own personal budget. I look at it as a business. Doesn't mean I like the numbers. It don't mean I'm happy with the figures and I'm on disability. But yeah, I see things in my life I can trim. I trim them. If I see things I can improve, I do that too. So it's no different if it's a budget for one person or a budget for 300 million people. Okay, it's the same deal. It still takes a lot of planning and thought and putting things together. Yes. Oh, reminds me, I'm going to be getting my ID card this month coming up. I might have to get the money out of my electric bill, possibly, because I still got to get the cancer eye drops. So either way, I'm still screwed. I need the eye drops. I need them for my eyes. Okay, I cannot live without my eye drops because my eye drops are keeping me from being blind as a mole, and that's no joke. And that's because I am pretty much an introvert, and I am kind of a homebody anyway. My eyes tend to get really kind of beat up reading a lot of books and things like that, or reading a lot of YouTube and Facebook videos, contents. So we'll see if we can get that done. My case manager suggests we go to the AAA office instead of the DMV because it might be a little easier for her to get me there. So we're going to go to the DMV office, or the AAA office in Avon, and try to get it done there instead of going to, you could just go grocery shopping at the same time afterwards. Yeah, that's a possibility. I didn't ask her about that. Okay. But right now, the thing is that I'm still holding my own. I'm still getting my bills paid and everything, and trying to keep my fleshy palm out of the camera. Sorry, guys. Okay, now last thing. I gotta consider getting a new hard drive for the computer. I gotta get it. I keep planning on this project. That's better. To get a new improved hard drive for the computer so that we can do things with it. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna look into. And because I keep planning to use an external hard drive system to put Linux in it. Now, Westlife tested the Linux versus he used Ubuntu. I don't know anything about this one. Ubuntu, okay, versus Windows XP on a Pentium 4 machine, and it says it's not necessarily faster than. It's going to relax my arm a little bit here. It's not necessarily any faster than the Windows XP. It's not necessarily slower. It's kind of got some things that go for it and some things that don't go for it. Now, here's one thing that VUS Life did not say. I'm going to say this from my own personal opinion. What Linux has got going for it is twofold. Okay, now it's just there's so many distributions of it, so what I'm going to say does not apply to all versions. So let me just talk about the two versions of Linux that I still use around here. The first one is called Debian, and the second one's called Slackware. Debian has a package management system that supposedly makes it easier for users to select the pieces that they're going to want to maintains the information about what libraries use and dependencies, whereas with the second distribution, which is Slackware, is all under the user's control to get it right. And it's trying to find ways to keep things up to date. I haven't had to use both for a long time. I've been kind of gravitated towards Debian. I still like Slackware, but unfortunately, for me, there are things about Slackware which unfortunately are really, really hard for this day and age to keep up with. Now, of course, if you're using an Intel-based processor such as a Pentium or Pentium line of chips, I don't care what flavor it is, Slackware is great. It's got everything you're going to need, and of course it's got the software you need, like for Flash and Mozilla Firefox and things like that. The problem is with Slackware is that there was a version of Slackware for the Macintosh called Slackintosh, which I've used for a long time. I like it, but unfortunately enough, it's no longer being released anymore. It's also has a notorious habit of being a very difficult version of Slackware to get things for because it's not the mainstream branch development. Right now, my biggest things right now with my PowerPC Mac is I only got one left that's in operable condition, so I really actually got two left, but that one doesn't get much use. But the biggest problem is that the machine I have now is starting to run a little slow. I think it's just because I put so much work into it, and it takes so much work to render videos, and it is slow. The video card is not exactly the fastest thing on the earth. It's actually a little bit on the slow side as far as frame rates go, but it's been working good. But this ATI video card is an older video card, and I think it needs a new higher power video card formats. I know there are several Power Mac video cards. Actually, one, which is considered by many to be at the top of the line for ATI, is the ATI Radeon X800 XT PowerPC version. HEP video card, 256 megabytes of video RAM. Great. Price on it isn't so great when you're on a fixed income, but it's if I could get it, that would be a great card. It's dual. It's got at least one DVI port. I don't think it has. I think it's double DVI connector. Plus, it has a composite connector on it too, which would be great because that means that it'll be very easy for me to plug the composite output into my video monitor and my television and stuff like that, and be able to watch the video and stuff like that on my TV. I didn't even go through and talk about some of the stuff with computer technology. I'm going to get into a video about that more in the future. Right now, I think this is running a little long, and I'm going to just make it short right now and say this much. I hope to God I'm not right about somebody trying to finish off Donald Trump. I hope he really does have a fair chance. And I hope to God that we keep diligent and watch out for these people. They're bad news, especially if the Democrats are making threats like that. They're saying they're going to concoct a scandal to destroy Donald Trump. Please, for God's sakes, guys, don't necessarily take everything you read, is serious. I mean, there are real allegations against Hillary Clinton that could be that are much more significant, and yet it's not so much herself that's killing her own campaign. It's the fact that we're all fed up with the Democrats in office. Over and over again, these people have been anti-American and have been trying to discredit and to destroy and to dismember the U.S. Constitution. That's the reason I will not support another Democrat at this time. And it doesn't mean I never vote for a Democrat, because I do once in a while if I think the least that their campaign is least based on legitimacy and trust. But Hillary Clinton's is not. She's really she's an asshole. It's even been confirmed that she was one who was quietly prodding her husband in the past on his campaigns. So Bill Clinton was actually being puppet run by his wife. So really, she's kind of already been president twice, if you think about it. Very sneaky. Very underhanded sneaky. The problem was with Bill Clinton was he didn't really have much of a chance to really roll because his wife did all the rolling. She's such a strong figure. Actually, my mom's the same way. My mom's a Democrat, by the way. So you got Republicans and Democrats in the same family, and you can imagine what our family gatherings are like. They're almost like watching a debate session. But no matter what you do, that's the reason why we need to make sure we choose a good, strong government that stands by and protects the Constitution of the United States. And I hate to say it, guys, but your wonderful friends, the Democrats, are out there to destroy the Constitution of the United States. So just think that in mind, because that's not something I'm making up. That's based on fact. All right, guys, gonna let you go, okay? Bye-bye.